Hi BookTube, I'm here today with a book review for the book The God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy. This was published in 1997 and won the Man Booker Prize in the same year. It's been on my TBR for quite some time because it's been talked about quite a bit, and it's also on the 1001 Books to Read Before You Die list. I also haven't really read much of Indian literature, so I was looking forward to picking this one up. I also buddy read this with Valentina Garcia. I will link her channel down below. You should definitely check it out because she is a wonderful booktuber and has very insightful points to make. She decided to DNF this book about half of the way through because she was not enjoying it, and I admit I was not either. But I decided to keep going because, quite frankly, I've DNF'd a lot of books this year, and I don't know if it's just bad luck or if maybe I'm more pessimistic than I was last year, but I decided that I should just keep chugging away, and I'm really glad that I did. The This book takes a while to get into, I will admit, and that's why I think a lot of people do DNF it quite early on. The plot point isn't linear, and so we jump around in time following these characters throughout their lives, and that makes it quite difficult to catch on to. There is particularly uh, particularly as well, it's even more difficult than some books like All the Light We Cannot See, because Roy does not use chapter headings like 1969 August or dates to help us keep track of where our characters are. She just uses small clues throughout the chapter, interspersed throughout the chapters, things like a wristwatch that was left behind, or when a character has died or not yet, to let us know where we are in the story. And that can take a bit of getting used to, because at first you will be very confused, but at the end, we really have pieced together everything that has happened, and it is quite rewarding. So this book takes place in the Indian state of Kerala, which is a portion of southern India, and Roy knows the region very well. There are references to Kerala throughout the entire book, everything from their local culture to their unique plants and ecosystems, and so it's more than just a location where the family lives. It really is a unique look into the life of upper middle class people in Kerala. And so what this book really does is it takes us into the personal lives of these people and shows how the small things can lead to the big things, which led to this family falling apart. And the three main characters are Amu, who is a woman who has been divorced from an abusive husband. And she has two twins, one who is a boy, Esla, and one who is a girl, Rahel. And they are moving back in with her into her childhood home with her mother and father, because she's fleeing her abusive husband. And again, a series of small things, misunderstandings, and small unique events, and people drifting apart lead to bigger things happening that again pull the family apart and lead to the disintegration of their business, and lead to the scattering of the family members across the globe. And so we have no idea what has caused this early on in the novel, but we know that something has happened. And so we have to piece together what has happened until slowly at the end we know what the root of the entire issue was. And it wasn't and we find out that it was a person, and he was the god of small things, and he and Amu could share none of the big things, none of the big moments in life together. All they had were the small things, but that was enough to cause all of this devastation, even though I'm trying to think of what I want to say without without giving away spoilers, but if you've read the book, you know what I'm talking about. And by the end of the novel, you've understood everything that happens, and that allows you, and it almost makes you want to go back and read the beginning again to make sure you haven't skipped anything when you were confused at first. But overall, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. My only complaint was that the beginning of the novel is at first a bit melodramatic. Esta is described as no longer speaking anymore, and that just seemed like a trope that I would expect in like a cheap YA, a knockoff of like a bigger bestseller or something, and not in a Man Booker Prize winner. And also, sometimes the prose was a bit too flowery and had a bit too many metaphors in it. Like, at some point, I do need concrete information to know what's going on. Otherwise, I can't figure out your metaphors. But then again, I don't have a PhD in literature, so what do I know? But yes, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. If you're reading this book, my advice would be to just keep plugging away at it, and it will be rewarding in the end. All right, I hope you enjoyed this review. Doei! So I thought I'd read a passage just so you can get a taste of the lyricism. He is searching for the beast that lives in him, Comrade Pillai had told them, frightened, wide-eyed children, when the ordinarily good-natured Bhima began to bay and snarl. Which beast in particular, Comrade Pillai didn't say. Searching for the man who lives in him was perhaps what he really meant, because certainly no beast has essayed the boundless, infinitely inventive art of human hatred. No beast can match its rage and power. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this. Again, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and I recommend that you pick this one up. That was The God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy. And with no further ado, bye!